The Joe Rogan Experience.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. Today we have a very special guest. Coming all the way from 1941 is the one and only Edward Mcknight Group.
What's up, Joe?
For those of you that do not know our guest, he is a key historical figure in communication design history.
Well, thank you, Joe Rogan.
No, thank you, Mr. Kaufman. We thank you for time traveling all this way here. You're such a key historical figure for the communication design community.
I'm very thankful to be here, Joe. Your incredible bland takes have made dents in our history as well.
Well, thank you, Edward Mcknight Group. I never had someone compliment me that before. I'm very touched. Enough about me, though. Please tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Montana in 1890, but when I was 20 years old, I decided to move to San Francisco.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Over there, I worked as a bookseller and studied design at the University of California. It was there where I met Professor Joseph Mcknight, who sponsored me to go to Paris.
Oh, wow. So that is how it all started, huh?
Well, not really. A couple months before moving, I attended the Armory Show of 1913 in Chicago. That changed my graphic design practice forever. I became inspired and obsessed with avant-garde art, even if most Americans did not appreciate it at the time. Even now, you lazy Americans can't sit down to watch a simple video without some sort of stimulation.
The Armory Show of 1913, huh? Wow. Is that where you got introduced to Cubism?
Exactly, Joe, exactly. I became fascinated with the art of Cubism. That's when I decided that my professors in Chicago were not up to speed with the art movements. So I then moved to Munich to study and explore design, but had to leave to England after a year due to the Great War, or World War I. It was so hard, Joe. Germany at that time was so scary, and I even had to—
Oh, real quick, I just want to announce our sponsor for today. Meg's History of Graphic Design, the book by Alston Purvis and Philip B. Meggs. With over 1,400 high-quality images throughout, this visually stunning text guides you through a saga of artistic innovators, breakthrough technologies, and groundbreaking developments that define the graphic design field. And the one and only Edward Mcknight Group is on here at page 306. Use code Control-F for 15% off. Now let's get back to you. So where did you go again when World War I happened?
Like I said, I moved to England, specifically London.
Ooh, just like Taylor Swift. She moved to London for her love. Her London boy.
Well, you can say that I moved to London for my love. My love was the influences of Cubism, the Bauhaus, and the Vienna Secession commingled with de Stijl and suprematism, as well as a penchant for Egyptian, Aztec, and Assyrian motifs. All major influences of modern graphic design.
My brain hurts from that. Can you tell us about post-Cubist pictorial modernism?
Well, faith in the machine and technology was at an all-time high. Mechanical, machine-made, and industrial forms became an important design resource, and Cubist ideas about spatial organization and synthetic imagery inspired an important new direction in pictorial images.
Looks like we have a surprise guest. Oh my God, it's Wendy Williams.
How you doing? Let's get started.
So, Mr. Edward, what makes you think you're all that? Why are you even here? Why are you relevant?
So glad you asked, Wendy. So glad. Anyway, I incorporated these influences into my personal style and practice of poster making. My posters went crazy. Here is my Waterford poster. I designed this piece to feature a bold serif typeface that forms the words "in" and "Watford" in all caps to really drive home the importance of, whatever's in Watford. I incorporated patterns in the bridge's reflection in the water, as you can see. It's a more subtle pattern in the trees. To keep the color palette minimal, I utilized desaturated greens, blues, and yellows, just like how everyone's Instagram feed is these days. Who needs color when you can have aesthetics, right? Wrong. By creating leading lines from the branches of the trees and following the bridge railings to the right side of the poster, I was able to direct the viewer's eye toward the text. The larger shapes were strategically placed to create a visual journey down the poster. It's like a roller coaster ride for your eyes, but without nausea.
Clap if you care.
I'll just pretend that didn't happen, ha ha ha. So you took inspiration from Cubism to make reductive, abstract forms to better and effectively communicate meanings and feelings?
Wow, Joe. Exactly. Wow, I can't believe you understand. Ha ha. One of my other posters takes on that aspect even further. My poster for the film, Metropolis.
The German science fiction film?
The year was 1926, I believe, and I was at the height of my career holding the title as the Poster King and all. Anyways, I was prompted with a project for a new film that was coming out by Fritz. With my normal setup with gouache on paper, I used primary colors for this one. The red, yellow, and blue with many geometric shapes created a factory look along with a line of humans with their heads down, waiting to be converted to robots. The poster had to have the title of the movie on it, of course, so in all caps bold serif font reads Metropolis divided up into sections down the poster.
Wow, you seem to be excited about this poster. You're kind of weird.
Man, this poster was the next big thing. I took it to the film company by the name of Gainsborough Pictures. But, it was rejected with a few others that I was working on. They chose a German graphic artist by the name of Heinz Schultz-Neudam. What the heck of a name is that? A ketchup-sounding name. My failure was later in the papers with the headline, Posters Too Good for the Films. But that did not stop me from designing.
You sound like a loser. Sorry, not sorry. I get that you influenced contemporary icon design with reductive forms and blended typography with imagery, but did you ever have a commercially successful poster?
Takes one to know one, Joe. But yes, let me tell you about the Westminster from the Thames poster. It is one of 3 posters I made for the London Transport, the Tower of London, and Buckingham Palace. But looks like the audience is tired. You know I can see you all here right now. You're lucky anyways. We only have time for me to go over one more poster. Kids these days and wanting to TikTok. Okay, back to this. This was made for the London Transport. I was drawn to the London Underground Electric Railway ever since I met the publicity manager, Frank Pick. I ended up creating over 140 posters in collaboration with him. This particular poster is very important to me, as it depicts the location of where I first arrived as I got off the train in London. So it is definitely a treasured piece for me. I was always mesmerized by the smoke that covered London, and I decided to experiment with different techniques to achieve the look of smoke in my poster designs. This was one of the first times I used airbrushing to achieve the effect, and the technique became popular among other poster artists and became one of my favorite painting styles.
Do you think you communicated the London transport system well with this post-pictorial modernist style?
Yes, I did. I captured the speed and might of London's underground by looking for elements that told that story. Using bold colors and typefaces and keeping the illustration dynamic and moving, I captured the essence of the London Underground railway system. At the time of creating this poster, I had already managed to have a pretty substantial impact on poster art, and this series was just another interesting and influential piece that was loved by modernists.
Well, thank you, Mr. Edward Mcknight Coffer. You have shown yourself to be a relevant figure in communication design history. But now the audience needs to go now. Before you leave, though, remember, we are all living in an Adobe Illustrator simulation. Bye-bye now.